Okay, we're going back in time today. A really old American car company called Deusenberg. Two brothers, Fred and August Deusenberg, started this company, and they weren't very successful. They only sold a few hundred cars, but E.L. Cord of the Cord 810 car fame bought the company out to help try to revive it. But even so, they still only made a few hundred cars, so Duesenbergs are rare. They were meant to compete against Rolls Royce and Hispano Suiza, take on the European brands. This is for the richest of the rich people. This brand of car. So I found out, watching the various YouTube channels. I forget which one. I forget where I learned about this one in the Cadillac, which I'll have in a different video. But I thought I'd give them a try because I like all these old open wire-wheeled pontoonish 1930s, the grand old age, before the Great Depression kind of vehicles. That's a long descriptive, sorry. So anyways, let's take a look here, Racing Champions. This is also my first of this brand also also to enter my collection. I noticed there's a nice story here as well. So, American manufacturer. This is SSJ Speedster is a super short wheelbase version, by the way. It's got a supercharged straight 8-cylinder engine, 400 horsepower. This thing could go 140 miles per hour, which is pretty fast for something that looks like this. Apparently, this thing sold for a record of $22 million. And only two of these were ever built. Gary Cooper bought his, and then the second one was lent to Clark Gable. And Wikipedia says these guys are racing each other in these cars in the Hollywood Hills. So, two very rare cars indeed from a very rare brand, Duesenberg. Okay, let's take a look here. Now, I actually pulled up the supposed wheelbase there. Wikipedia says 3,200 millimeters. So I'm a little curious to see if Racing Champions actually made a 1/64 scale vehicle. Although I'm not sure if it actually says 1/64 here. No, the packaging... So I guess it doesn't even matter. They don't actually claim to be any scale. But let's just see if it'll fit in with other, 1/64 scale vehicles. So I pulled out my calculator, and 3,200 millimeters divided by 64 is a nice simple 50 millimeters. So the question is this wheelbase 50 millimeters long? Hold on, I guess you probably want to witness this, right? So, 0. It's not so easy to measure the wheelbase, but luckily this has some red dots on the hub center cap, so no, this is not. This is coming in 52.68. So I'm going to go the other way. 52.68 times 64. 3371. Yeah, that's it's definitely bigger. Okay. Well, anyways, it's not 1/64 scale. It's in the ballpark, but it's not true to scale. But they don't claim to be, so I guess we can I guess I can accept it. They're not lying or anything like that. So, okay, so this is a picture of the real car. Wire wheels, exhaust, giant headlamps, a curvy little bumper there, short windscreen. It doesn't have the side windows on the windscreen, but those will probably break off or something. I'd say it's a relatively accurate model. I do feel like, though, well, that's helpful. The wheels are really underneath the fenders, at least in the back. And I guess it is on this model too, so let's try this back view. Yeah, got the spare wheel, lights. The dashboard is different color, but it may have been repainted. Okay, well, I would say it's a pretty decent representation. It's quite good, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. So let's get the good old dental pick out and take a look at these details for real here. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to make wire wheels in any scale, really. So I guess that's pretty good. That's a pretty good effort. Ideally, the edge of the wheel wouldn't be this tall. It's just no car has a rim that thick, right? So I'm not sure why they would have made it that big. Like this silver almost wants to be black for the tire. Strange. Let me see if it's actually a separate piece. Yeah, it's weird because this is a separate rubber tire. But I guess it's actually trapping the tires, keeping it from falling off. So I'm curious, but I see there's a little ridge in the middle, and that's what's keeping the tire on. Whereas most of the other brands, they have a ridge on the wheel, and then the tire has a cavity inside that locates it. So that would have been smarter to do it the other way around, because then the tire could have a taller sidewall and look more like that photograph. So alright, it's not so easy. Alright, so just for comparison again, I mean, look at the height of the wheel, right? It's not nearly as high as on this model, but the height of the tire is quite tall, you know. But unfortunately, on this model, it's hidden by the wheel. So that's kind of poor designing, from the company, which is too bad. Okay. Well, the next thing I'm noticing are these exhaust, pipes, which look pretty cool. They're flexible or something like that, and they carry over from the top. I don't think it's the same piece, or is it? I don't know if that's actually going through. I feel like it's different. I feel like it's a different piece up there than it is here. But anyways, it looks pretty cool. It's only on this side as well. I guess they must have two pieces. I think this comes off actually. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, I don't know. It's an engine, or what's supposed to be an engine. Yeah, obviously, a little more color would have been helpful. Although I don't know what the real one looks like. It is possible the real engine is all chromed out, or at least all aluminum. But I would think somewhere in there there'd be some black, wiring or something like that. I'll never really display it in this fashion, so it's just a kind of a gimmick for me to have these opening panels. Will go back on nicely. I don't want to scratch the paint. Okay, so yeah, because of that, I mean, this panel gap is just really bad. It's pretty big. Same here. Okay, but actually, this is a floating body on the frame, so okay. Curious. Huh, if you guys really care, this thing actually rolls pretty nice. Alright, so we got some door hinges. They stick out, that's accurate. This door handle sticks out, that's accurate. I love these fenders, right? Little step plate looks good. Even some ribbing here that's on the real car. On the real car, these are chrome though. Would have been nice to have a little silver paint on those. Okay, so the width of the tires look relatively accurate. I mean, they're not super wide like modern tires. Yeah, I think it kind of would have been nice if these were plastic inserts instead of just painted white. And sadly, the white isn't even painting the whole thing very well. It's like much smaller than the actual molding. So that's too bad. Then these auxiliary lamps are painted as well. Okay. And the bumper is not bad. I mean, it's alright. This should be open here, but I think it'd be really fragile if it was, so I'm okay with their decision to do that. This looks nice, the frame rails there. Then you got the hinge in painted silver, looks good. Maybe these are locks or something like that. Some sort of vent maybe that goes into the passenger compartment. Raised molded in wiper blades, but no color on them, sadly. Would have been nice if those were silver as well. But they got the window trim silver, so that's good. Okay, this side. So yeah, we got a grill here, right? So that looks good. Looks good. The back, sure, we got some red taillights, the same red on that wheel there, and then some sort of fabric cover, I guess. Interesting. Now see, on the photo of the real car though, the wires are actually showing on that spare wheel, right? But this one, it's got a cover. Maybe that was an option. Keep it clean, right? So, okay. Bumper, separate piece, looks good, chromed out. And then this, I would assume, might be the fuel filler cap. I'm not sure why else that would be a silver protrusion. Okay, so this little piece here for the convertible tonneau is looking pretty good. You got the little rivets here, or the snap buttons to keep the cover on, so that looks good. And a really nice interior. I like this color. You know, it looks leathery. And it's got the ribs there. We got a separate black steering wheel and some molded details on the dashboard. So not bad. I don't think this Racing Champions was a really expensive model, so I would guess it was under $6 when it was new. Like, if anyone knows, please chime in. I didn't even pay that much for it off eBay, so yeah, I think it's pretty cool. You know, I think the engine thing is a bit of a gimmick. It's unnecessary because the gaps, you know, are quite detractive. But it's not overall. It's not bad, you know. And frankly, I don't know of a Deusenberg SSJ Roadster better than this. If anyone knows of a better one, please leave a comment. But I highly doubt it exists, right? So it seems like this is the only choice if you want a SSJ Roadster. So, okay, well, let's get it up on a spin go around and let it spin one last time here. So yeah, Racing Champions, I think it's pretty good. As I mentioned, I got the 1931 Cadillac V16 Cabriolet, and I'm going to pop that up in a different video. Try to keep these things separate so other people in the future can search out these models if they're in the market to buy them. Alright, thanks for watching, and like this car, stay classy.